All right, viewers, I debated on even making a video this week because there wasn't a whole lot to show, because the tail cone still looks the same as it did the last time you guys saw it. Actually, zero has been done there. I did today, was able to get out here and get all the parts primed, but you'll notice that there's some extra parts here. And that's because I did start on the fuselage bulkheads, which I'll show you what those guys are here in just a moment. But this is that trim bracket that we saw. And then a few of these other parts over here belong to that. These guys do, yay. However, this one here, this here, those up there, those are all part of the mid-fuselage bulkheads, which I'll show you guys on the plans here what I'm talking about. It's this one and this one. This one here, I need to wait until I get the wing kit, which I'm probably going to be getting it sometime mid to latter March, maybe beginning of April at the latest, because that piece there actually ships with the wing kit. All these other little pieces actually ship with the fuselage kit, which I have, but I don't have the wing kit. So I can get these done, and I can get a couple of more steps in beyond that. So I can get pretty much all of this done with the exception of this attachment here. And I've still got plenty of space to work there, so that's not a big deal. So I do have stuff to do. Also, I wanted to show you guys here my antenna layout stuff. You guys have heard me talking about this a little bit. So up here, the VOR antenna, and then that was just me making some scribble notes. ADS-B antenna, transponder antenna, the GPS 2 and comm antenna, which is a combination antenna, here on top. The ELT, or emergency locator transmitter antenna, will be up here. GPS 1 will be on top of the cabin top, which, yeah, we're working on that. COM 1 will be somewhere underneath the belly here. And nav 2, question if I'm even going to install it, probably, so it's probably going to be out here on the wingtip. Also, since I got to start working on the fuselage bulkheads and I got to tear into a component, this is a check sheet that Vans gives you that says what all you're supposed to have in the kit, and it's very accurate. But I got down here to the end and it appeared as though I was missing this piece here, 1059A. Well, 1059A, I found it. It was buried inside of these guys, right? I think it was this one here, and there's an exact match on the other end. And I just sprayed these like literally within the last 5 minutes on the back side here. I've already sprayed the front side, so those are ready to go, and I can, well, the next time I'm working on the airplane, probably Saturday, I can start working on some assembly of some of these components, and work on getting the rest of the tail cone finished up. Somebody had messaged me about my process as far as priming goes, and so I'll walk through it a little bit here. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the kit, and it has the bluing material still on it. Bluing comes off, and then I use a rotary Scotch-Brite wheel that I have mounted on my grinder here, which I'm looking at this one, and it's probably getting close to ready to replace, because I've eaten off a good probably inch off of this wheel, believe it or not, in the 2 years that I've been using it. But anyway, I would run this, and I would run these up and down here and just knock off the edges, because when these are stamped, there's little grooves and little notches here from the stamping process. So it knocks those off. Generally I go up one side and then I rotate it about 45 degrees and come back, just because it'll leave a little bit of a sharp edge, and that knocks off that sharp edge. For what I can't get to, I do have a couple of hand files. I think I got these at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. This one I love because it's rounded on one side, or it's half rounded, so I'm able to get into a lot of tight spaces with that. And then on the big skins, I use a big file like this to knock off the burrs, because obviously I can't run a big skin. I tried it once and it makes more of a mess than it does anything, and I'm afraid I'm going to bend the skins. So knock off the edges. Hole deburring occurs with this tool here, and you stick it in the hole and rotate it, and so you can deburr the holes. After that's done, then I take a Scotch-Brite pad like this. They actually come in big, well, actually this one's already been cut once, so they come in a big sheet like so, and I bought them on Amazon, and I use these to scuff it up, and it basically takes, you know, it takes the shine off. You can also use it if you have any grooves or notches that, you know, something, it happens just in the construction process. You're gonna scratch a piece or something like that. So I use a Scotch-Brite pad to get the grooves out, and you get in there with it and you'll be amazed of how much you can cut it down. So after that, in here, I bought these at, I believe, Lowe's as well. And what they are is they're made for underbed clothes storage, but they work great for this process. So in this one here, I use a product called triphosphoric acid, which once again you can find at Lowe's. Let me take you guys on a little bit of a tour here. TSP, trisodium phosphate, and it's the same stuff that you can buy from Aircraft Spruce that they call aluminum prep or aluma prep or something like that. I discovered the chemical makeup's very close enough to where it works. And I mix this at twice the strength of what they call for on the box. So they say a half a cup to the gallon, or a half a cup to 2 gallons, I think it is. Anyway, I mix it at twice the strength, and it works great. Yesterday, this is a brand new batch that I made up yesterday when I was washing the aluminum, and you put the aluminum in and you just watch it bubble, and it's just an awesome sight to see. And I replace this about every couple of months or so, depending upon how much stuff I've washed with it. You'll know when it's no longer good because you'll put your aluminum in, it won't bubble. And so when it quits bubbling, you know it's bad. You need to throw it out and make some more. The great thing is, because that's technically a household cleaner, you don't need any kind of special disposal to take care of it, and you can just pour it right out. So not a big deal. So that's, I leave them in here for a couple of minutes. You'll notice that there is a Scotch-Brite pad in here, and because I'll take that Scotch-Brite pad and just kind of wipe over it with it. I do use gloves when I use this product. Technically it's safe to use without it, but I just don't want to, you know, have any skin issues. And then the bottom container here is just plain water. So I'll take it from this, I'll dip it in this, wash it off, rinse it, make sure that it's nice and clean. And if I notice anything else, we go back to the dunk tank again, and then back to here. Once that's done, then I have a string hanging in the garage and some coat hangers. So we hang everything up, and it looks like the Blair Witch Project in here half the time. And so I let them dry a minimum of probably 2 to 4 hours. I actually prefer, you know, good 12 or so hours, depending upon how warm it is outside. Make sure that all the water is off, completely dry, because that's where you can get in trouble. Because if you prime like this on top of water, the water stays with the aluminum instead of away from the aluminum, which completely defeats the purpose. And as I'm sitting here, I'm noticing that I missed a little with the primer. If you guys can look right here, it's not quite as primed as it should be. There's a little bit of aluminum showing, so rats. And then as far as the primer that I use a product called Eco Prime. It's made by Stewart Systems. I like this because, number one, it's low VOC, so I can do it here in the garage, and I have a hot water tank here in the garage, and I don't really have to worry about blowing up my house, because that would not go over well. I don't have to wear a breathing apparatus with it, and the cleanup on it's pretty simple. It's water soluble, so you can clean it in the kitchen sink. Psst, don't tell Miss Jackie that I've been cleaning my stuff in her sink in the kitchen. But it is very environmentally safe, and there's no issues with that. And when I'm done, you can dispose of this can the same place that you would dispose of any other paint can. You don't need any kind of special permit to get rid of it. I was using a product called Aladyne, and I used it for a while, but and here's the Aladyne right here, Aladyne 1201. I still have it. You've heard me talk about, you know, getting rid of this stuff. Well, for me to get rid of this stuff, our local landfill has 2 days per month for about 2 hours that you can go and drop off extremely hazardous material like this. And I just haven't found the time to go up there to do it, and it's on the other side of the county, and there's no way you can just put this out for the garbage man to take, because that's not going to happen. And this stuff's pretty expensive. I don't remember, 25 bucks or so. I bought it. I Aladyned some parts way back in the beginning, and the science is out there that this isn't quite as necessary as what we used to think that it was necessary. There's some people who believe in it strongly. The whole primer wars, there's people who believe that you shouldn't prime, there's people who believe that you should prime. I mean, that's kind of a little bit of all over the place as far as priming goes, allodyning. Do you allodyne? Do you not allodyne? My opinion is I condition the aluminum with the acid etch, or I manually buff it, I chemically buff it, and then I spray this Stewart System primer on top. I don't allodyne anymore, so your mileage may vary. Thank you guys for watching, and by next week we should have the tail cone, the rest of the pieces in, hopefully, and these mid-fuse bulkheads assembled, and on to something else. I've got to leave to go to work for the next 4 days, so I won't even get to touch it again until Saturday. So probably be another week and a half till the next video. Thanks for watching.